We give thanks to God for this evening and this opportunity for to look at Python, introduction to Python, some sample programs that we can use it to understand better. So this is a continuation of our data science study. You're welcome to another day. This class was supposed to hold on Saturday, but due to circumstances, we could not hold a class on Saturday 9 p.m. So it's holding today, Monday 24th of January, 10 p.m. where we are 14 minutes late. All right. The first thing we have here, if I can go to my PowerPoint presentation. That's loading. Then let me also open my command line, command prompt. All right. We'll see what we going to do today. All right, the first thing we needed to do was launch a Python script from the command line interface. The second was to look at the assignment that we have and how to address it. Then the third was to show and explain some programs. Let me use the word some instead of some programs in Python. So I'm actually using Atom on my own. So that's why I wrote Atom. All right. So the first thing we'll do now is to launch the Python script from command line. Like my Python script, actually using Atom. So as you remember how to open a file, a directory using the command line, we are going to open my Python script, which is Atom, using the command line interface. So first of all, I'll look at this. I have app data, which is where my command line, sorry, my Atom has a subdirectory. So from app data, I go to local. From local, I'll look at classing Atom. So from Atom, this is where the application is stored. So I press enter, and I now type atom.exe. So it is going to load my Atom from the command line. So you can do that using your Jupyter, the command line to open your Jupyter notebook. You can also use the command line to open any other Python script. So you don't need to go and start searching. So just to go to the directory and execute the file. And you're going to run. So that was the first exercise we had there. The second one was to solve our assignment, which we gave different figures. After giving the figures, we now ask that you use Python program to count, add, and average the figures, the numbers. So, Miss Ini, can you call the numbers that we had there as assignment?
All right. I mean, hold on. $34,
Okay.
35, 45.
44, 45.
Yeah.
What else?
32,
32,
17,
17,
81,
81,
81, 21.
21. Thank you very much. All right. This is how the code looks like. You, you first of all declare a variable called count. Then the count, the idea of the variable count is to count the numbers. Remember what we said in the assignment. The assignment was that we had to write a program that counts this number, adds the number, and finds the average. So look at it very well. So let's say program, is it program or code? Program to count, add, and average. So that's it. So now let's go to here. I like to do some editing. When I wrote this, I didn't really look at it. I just wanted to finish it up, but I didn't wait to write other things inside. Let me just add those things. So what I need to add here now is average. Understand? So put this and put a comma. I'll make this capital later. Okay. All right. Let's run this program. If you are using Atom to run a program, you press F5, the function F5 will run the program for you. So now click that. Yeah, have you seen the program has run? Counts the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then the numbers themselves, 34, 45, 32, 17, 81, 21. And then gave the total, which is 230. You could have just completed the program by writing the total. There's no light here, so I have to on a touch light to type this. It's a Nigerian factor. Total. Yeah. Yes, total and average. So what happens is this. Remember, we set count to 0, set add to 0. Then we now write a function. Sorry, write the code. Understand? Calling this for I in A. You know what for does, a for loop. Are we aware of the for loop? Remember during the first introduction class, introductory class, Miss Ini discussed about
Yeah, I'm aware. So I didn't
the
also
loop.
mute.
So the for loop, we are using the for loop. We can actually use the while loop too. Understand? But the while loop, we have to have a boundary. That is one thing about the while loop. But in the for loop, you do not need a boundary. For loop considers that this thing can go into infinity. Whereas while loop, we must set a boundary. So if we were using a while loop, we would have said, okay, while A is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, while A is less than 6, understand? Or while A is equals to 5, understand? So, or while A is less than or equals to 5. But the for loop doesn't have those constraints. So that is why I use the for loop. I said for I in A, count equals to count plus 1. So this count, for each of the I that runs, each of the um, member of the list, item in the list, which is the I does not stand for anything. I can just call the I item. Could have been for item in A. So supposing A was mango, then let's say for item in mango or fruits. Let's say this was fruit. We have mango, apple, and the rest. Yes. So that's the idea. Then for I, which is the item in A, count will be count plus 1. So it will make sure that for each of the items, it counts plus 1. Then we now say add will be add plus I. So the idea of the add plus I is that the I is the item. So it is adding each item to the previous add that was set to 0. So the variable now changes to reflect the new add. So it now adds the next item, adds the next one, adds the next one, and adds the next one. Supposing we wrote the print add under the for loop, we would have seen how it was adding it, but it would have made our result to be bulky, much and clumsy. So I had to pull it out of the loop to write only the final answers by taking it out of the loop and writing the print statement out here. So when we run this, we now have that each of this number has a total of 230 and an average of 38.33333333 up to 36. All right, that's for the assignment. Okay, let's go back to now. Another thing we want to do today is to show and explain some programs in Python. I wrote some programs in Python programs in my Atom or on my Atom. So we are going to read through, make some explanation. Then after this class, our next class is supposed to be on strings. We needed to target strings, otherwise we'll have issues with lists and other and imputing into files. So we need to really understand string operations in Python. So the assignment will be write out and explain at least 2 string operations in Python. Then number 2 is what immutability of strings. Those are the two things that will definitely be our assignment, which we will discuss tomorrow in our class. So everybody, I would like everybody to tackle these two things. Withdraw strings, at least give us two string operations. Then tell us what immutability of strings stands for. All right. As I have explained that assignment, before we go into other programs that we've written on Python or in Python, like in my own case, I wrote some on my Atom. I would like to see how we did our assignment that we counted, added, and averaged. Please, how did you do your own, Mr. Sifa? Let me give you opportunity to share yours. Let me stop
Okay,
my mic.
apparently I just saw the assignment today, but what you've done,
You have not done it.
I no, I have not.
How are
I
you,
actually
Mr.
just saw it today.
Mr. Isaac? Did you do the assignment?
Yeah, I did it. Although,
Let me stop my own share. Share your screen. Let's see.
let me see. How do I share screen?
Let me give you the host. I'll make you the host so that you can share your screen.
Mm,
All right. Share your screen now.
Oh, can you see?
All right. Can you read it out?
Mm, okay. You know, I'm still new, so I just picked some things from the net, and that's how I did it. I don't know if I'm right. Um, um, n is equal to integer. Then we impute the number of the element. Can you see it? Nedi, are we there?
Uh, I'm here. Please continue.
Okay. And I created a list, call it L1, that will have the numbers of the variables. And so for I, range is the number of is a input, integer input, enter the number of elements. I don't know how to do these things, but I just did a little thing. So maybe I don't know how to explain it.
Ah, all right. How about the figures you gave? Were you able to impute them
Yeah, I was able
for them to
to
come out with
do the
the
figure as
results?
well. I entered the six variables, and the sum of the numbers is 230. Um, the average is 38.33 raised to power 7 or 8.
That's
But I snapped it. I sent it to you.
Yes, it wasn't clear.
I
So
sent a second one.
yeah, I was not online WhatsApp again. All right, that's good. Let's go back to what we have. All right, I'm going to reclaim post from you now. Let me see. Not even sheet. All right, let me just continue. Okay. All right. We have a
I've
new
done
person
it.
here. All right, Ngozi Oriri Ngozi Uzo. You are welcome. All right.
Thank you, sir.
We are going to explain some Python programs. All right, let me say this as we continue. Mr. Isaac, you did a very good job, fantastic one. But the idea of Python, as you write codes, as you get to understand, you discover that your codes can actually be shorter than that. You have a long line of code. Like when you wrote the input statement was very fantastic. Understand? I love doing that. But since we already gave figures, you could have just easily inputted the figures in the list.
Okay.
So you did a good job there. So next time, I hope others can also practice and do the assignment so that they can come up with ideas of doing their own differently. Because this thing is not fixed. The way I write my code is like more like music.
Yeah, yours is shorter. This one
One
is long.
person, yeah, one person sings treble. Even the person that strings treble, his treble is different from another person's treble. So everybody have different tempo, different voice, and the rest of them. So writing a code is similar art. I saw it in a video, the art of coding. So people write same programs that come up with similar, in fact, same result, exact result. But when you look at the programs, the way they write it, the pattern, they are quite different. There is no fixed way in writing a program. So all of you might arrive at the same result, but the different routes you're going to take. So that is how I really love what you did. You were able to do your own differently. So this is how mine is. I can edit it anywhere. Just like you did input and list. I can write an input statement, then make this an empty list. That's just it. So it's a beautiful thing. So there's no fixed way. And that is exactly why I wanted us to do the assignment so that we can see how different we think. So that's just it. So now let's go to codes. I think I have shown you this, Mr. Isaac, but others were not there. I've shown you part of this. So like now, This one, I wrote a simple program. Okay, we read through this one. Except there are some people that are here. The first code here, the first program here, is a simple code for Naira dollars exchange, which I wrote. So I will be snappy here. All right. Now, if you look at this, let me remove the hash statements, the comments. Look at this simple statement. If I run this, it's going to ask me how much dollars do I have, and it will now tell me the value in Naira. It will also ask me how much Naira do I have, and it will now give me the value in dollars. Supposing the exchange rate is $1 equals to 410 Naira. Understand? So these are just kind of fixed because we are using it as sample. Supposing they varied, we could have had another program that sends the figure into our program. But let's just assume that it's 410 Naira. So now let's run this program. How much dollars do you have? Let me see, who do we have here? How much dollars do you have, Mr. Ori Ngozi? How much dollars do you have? I know Igbo people like dollars.
I,
I'm not,
I
I
have
don't.
I have $20.
Okay, you have $20. All right, let's see. You have 8,200 Naira given that exchange rate. All right, how much Naira do you have?
Okay, I have 20,000 naira. What will it be in dollars?
Let me see, 20,000. $48.78. $48.78. That's the program. The simple program, and that is how it runs.
Thank you very
So
much.
you can see how the program is. Let me close this so that my screen will be wider. So that's it. So I will hash this so that we can look at other programs. So this is just in preparation for tomorrow's class, which we are going to discuss strings and how to navigate through strings, how to manipulate strings on Python. Now, let's look at a typical conditional statement. In this conditional statement, I was looking at somebody typing any number, and it will now tell you that your favorite number is either an odd number or an even number. Now, let's look at it. So now, they said, give us any number. Type in your favorite number. Then favorite number, we integrate it. That is, we make it to be an integer. If your favorite number is 0, print your favorite number. Sorry, if your favorite number, which is the integer modulus 2, I forgot to include that. Integer modulus 2. Those who were in the other class, I think I explained modulus before Mr. Sifa came on to continue that class. So modulus is the ability for a number to be divided by 2 without a remainder. So if the remainder is 0, which means that number is divisible by 2. So the modulus must be 0. So if any number divided by 2 gives you a even number, which means the modulus of the number gives you 0, it should print Your favorite number is an even number. Else, your favorite number is an odd number. Now let's run that program. Who is in the class? Let me ask a question. The other person has been. All right. What's your favorite number, Mr. Isaac?
14.
14. Your favorite number, 14, is an even number. All right, Miss Anifa, what's your favorite number?
7.
7. Your favorite number, 7, is an odd number. That's for that program. It's a very simple program that identifies even and odd number. Let me ask that run while I'm running another program. All right. I wrote another program that checks shoe sizes if you go to a shop. Supposing you want to buy a shoe on Jumia, and that particular shop wants to know if you if they have your size. So this is a program that can check that. All right. All right. Check shoe. Enter your shoe size. Then we now define full size integers to check shoe, so that if you put anything that is not an integer, it will not read. So integer is a number. So if shoe size is in the range of 25 to 35, print shoe size. Great, you are looking for small shoes, or for small size shoes. That's what I should have written. Small size shoes. If shoe size is in the range 3640, print. Great, you are looking for medium size shoes. Else if shoe size, whose size is in the range of 41 and 50. Great, you are looking for big size shoe. Else, no, we do not have this in stock. Now, Isaac, Mr. Isaac, enter your shoe size.
42.
42. Size 42, great. You are looking for big size shoes. So that's it. So let's enter a size that is not in this range. Let's look at 56. Size 56, no, we do not have this in stock. That's it. That's a program. So we have other programs. Let me jump to the one that might be very nice for us. As there is no light, my battery is almost going low. All right, I wrote a program that defines the morning salutation, and it's actually a function. And we will discuss function in Python. So I want us to see how it looks like before we start discussing about it. It's a simple but kind of complicated and requires very intelligent definition for you to get it right. Everything, most of the things we are calling on Python are functions. Supposing we want to create a function for Python, calling it a com. For those who are from here, I know this man is not from here, but you understand what a com means. A com in our language means greetings. Suppose you want to tell Python the word a com means greetings. So that anytime somebody writes Python and types the word a com, it's going to want the person to call a greeting. So we now say if the greeting, the person greets Usiere, you should know that the person is an Anang person. Understand? So, sorry, if the person's greetings Usiere, as in this come, and the person after greeting tells you that it's an Anang person, that the prince should print Achiere, Achiere. Supposing the person says he's an Oron man, that the statement should print Alara. Supposing the person is the statement should print a Messiere, else it should print a Messiere. You understand? So now, that is for that function. Look at this. We wrote another program that reads that particular function. That function, we are finished with that function. We have closed that chapter. Now let's go to a program different from that function that we wrote. I should tell you that you can call a function from anywhere on Python. Now, this is the program. The program says, morning salute. I created a list of morning salutations. So now, if the person, we now said salute, we call for the person to write the salutation. Tell us whether you want to tell us good morning or amesiere or anything. Then we now wrote try and accept. Try that the person has inputted a string statement. If the person does not put a string statement, except what the person is inputting is not on this list, terminate that code. Don't run it. Either not in morning salon, then don't run that code. But if what the person inputs is in this list, this is what the program will run. If either equals to good morning, or in good in starting with capital letter or small letter, look at them, print good morning, how are you? If it is a mesiere or a mesiere or achiere, any of them that has to do with Akwa Ibom, print a mesiere nde abadie bonu for abadie. Else print I do not understand. Look at that program. Now, morning salutation. There is a particular code I needed to close, but I don't close. Now let's look at how does Anna person greet. Achere. Let's try. So now look at it. Amesierende abadie bunu for abadie. It returns that. So that's how functions work. Now, if I put something else, let's look at a language you do not understand. Yes, let me close this before that I do not print. Battery is low. I think we are going to close this class here. We'll round up this class to continue tomorrow. which means we'll continue this next time, but not tomorrow. We'll continue this one tomorrow. Thank you
Okay.
all for coming around.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Good
Keep all your
night.
questions for tomorrow.
It's
Thank you
okay.
very much.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Have a blessed night.
You too. Bye.
Yeah.